the next season are you already into?
I read the 3rd episode last night.
Oh, so you guys are getting kind of deep.
Yeah, we're diving right in, and it's really good. I wanted to say so much about this particular episode that we're about to start filming because it is a really interesting, kind of all-encompassing idea of chance and how many different ways your life can go. But you know, of course, I didn't want to ruin the episode. But it is really, really cool, and that episode is in the alternate universe. So they're doing this kind of like alternate universe. So there's one episode here, there's one episode there, like that. And so it's cool because I get a substantial amount of time to just be this Astrid, just be this Astrid, which is really neat. The shows are really great so far. You know, each season kind of takes a bit of a different format, and this season is no different, and it's really cool. But what I really like about it is that they're still doing, you know, the really bizarre things that are happening, and the Fringe team is investigating. But now you've got 2 completely separate Fringe teams doing the investigating, so you get to see how they all work differently, and it's really
In
cool.
that alternate universe, they all kind of seem kind of badass.
Yeah, they are, and they're all really close, which is interesting because in this universe, there's this whole rift between everybody, and Peter's not really, you know, speaking terms. He's really upset, and Olivia is weird, so that's weird. And you know, I'm sure that there are so many points during the day when she interacts with everyone where they're like, "Huh, that's strange," and they don't think anything of it, and of course the audience is like, "Is that her?" So that's really going to be neat to see how everybody ends up finding out. It's gonna blow their minds.
With the way that that last season ended, it was just so crazy. I mean, your main character is on the other side. Now our main character on our side is maybe not a bad guy, but sort of someone who's adversarial in a way. Given how that ended and your knowledge of it when it ended, and now that you've started filming, are you satisfied with the way that the show has come back and sort of addressed that cliffhanger? How do you feel?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I wondered how, you know, how are they going to do this? Because you could certainly keep her locked up for a long time, or, you know, other things could happen. And then you start to realize who the bad guys really are in this alternate universe, which isn't necessarily, you know, easily seen in the finale. And everybody's got these weird motives that are really surprising. So I'm super happy with where they went. And you know, from the very first episode of season 3, they take off with it. And there's no, you know, like waiting around and toying until they get a couple of episodes in. They really start going immediately, and it's really cool to see it.
Think she could find love?
Ooh. I read this article in the New York Times about autistic couples, people who are autistic and finding another autistic partner. It was really fascinating because it's pretty difficult to find love, you know, when you're on the same footing as everybody else. So I can't imagine how difficult that would be. But what would be cool, you know, Akiva said something to me when we were filming the finale. And he said, she's just got that one scene with Lance. He's sitting at the table, and you know, he comes up to us, and he's like, you know, she doesn't really want to look at him. She's very uncomfortable with him, but she realizes she might love him. I was like, what? And whether or not that's true or is going to play out ever, who knows? But that's what he said in the scene, and I was like, all right, you really just kind of screwed up my whole of how I was going to play this. And me and Lance looked at each other, and then I was like, I thought you were my dad. So I really don't know how we're going to go for it, but it's cool. You know, I'm up for anything. So that would be interesting if they decide to ever make that actually.
I mean, is that a theory?
Oh, sorry, you go.
Is that a theory you actually think might hold some like weight, that Nina and the Broyles might have actually had you as some kind of secret love child?
Well, you know, we thought that for a long time, but in this last, we filmed an episode that dispels that idea, and I was a little bit brokenhearted about it. Well, this is in episode 2 of season 3. Astrid has a little conversation with Broyles, and she mentions her parents, and she doesn't say my parents like you, Dad. Right. So I'm assuming that she's got
adoption. I mean, if you think about Nina, she might not be the most. Look, I'm helping you right now. I'm trying to give you your ideas.
Oh my gosh! What if she was adopted, and then that would totally make the conversation so more intense.
Could you imagine that if like Nina and Broyles actually had a child, that they would have raised her together in any sort of capacity?
No, they'd be like, get away from us, but we'll send you out to a really good school.
Exactly.
I guess I was going to ask, so you're going to Astrid's apartment this season.
We went to Astrid's apartment.
So how was that?
She listens to Erykah Badu. She listens to Erykah Badu. I thought that was really funny because Erykah Badu, the musician, because I have every Erykah Badu album, and I was like, oh, okay, Astrid, I see you. And she's like a hippie. She had like all these rugs and these big tapestries everywhere and these big paintings of like. I was like, there's no way that Astrid is reprimanding Walter for smoking pot because clearly she has a joint somewhere in this apartment. There's no way she doesn't. So that's my hope. My big hope in season 3 is Walter comes to Astrid's apartment and they smoke a bowl together. Let's see. I don't know.
That was a good finale.